All right, well, we are live. Welcome to the passive prospecting YouTube for real estate. That's what we're calling it these days. That's right. That's what we're calling it these days. No, pretty cool. Pretty excited. Actually, I probably should have. Probably should put the website down there on my name. Anyways, we can get people to start getting registered for the book, so that whenever or you can just go to passiveprospecting.com. Actually, I think I should be able to change that real quick.
I'll put it in the comments too.
Can I change that up here?
I think you can put it in your
edit name. Here we go. I can go passive. And by the way, I see a few of you out there already, passiveprospecting.com. That way you can get signed up for the book, which we plan to release. We are working through that right now. Super excited about that. And that'll be a lot of fun. But we see a couple of you out there already, so go ahead, start hitting us up with your questions. Give us a thumbs up, although there's really nothing to like so far, right? So we haven't proved ourselves just quite yet. So I already see. Let's see. We got my man Steve. We posted in the Facebook group, right? I think I saw that ready to go.
Yep.
Okay. Steve, we got Steve in the background. We're gonna go ahead and crank it on and bring him up. You ready, Steve? Let me see a thumbs up. If you're up there, you ready to go? All right. Let's see. What's up, Steve? How are you?
What's going on?
Good. What you up to these days?
Oh, just trying to get everything squared away. Just got your thing. I just got everything switched over to EXP. So working hard on that.
Okay, cool. Good. Down in the Corpus Christi area.
Yes, sir.
Great state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Have you officially met Chrissy yet?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've seen her on the
different trainings,
lives, but never.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great. How are you?
Doing good.
Well, good. Well, how can we help you today, Steve? What kind of questions you got?
I just jumped on here to see what everybody else had. I don't have anything right now.
Well, you were absolutely no help at all whatsoever.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry about that.
That's right.
Excuse the mess back here. I got to finish cleaning up my office.
I was about to say that you got to work on that backdrop for the YouTube videos now, right?
Yes. Yeah. I got to get. I got some shelves and stuff. Well, I'm doing. Floating shelves behind me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to change up the way the camera is and stuff. I just got it set up on a little arm thing. So that's got to get changed too.
Yeah, we always talk about that. It's actually a good point. We always talk about in the videos. Now, this is a little bit further away than what we usually recommend to make that. But ideally, you want to be at eye level. And this is, I'm not schooling Steve here. I'm just saying for the general audience out there, whenever office videos, because a lot of people sometimes don't even think about these things, but something you want to keep in mind, of course, because we always talk about maintaining eye contact with the camera, which to me was the initial bump to get over when people talk about not being comfortable on camera. I think for me, always being in a one-on-one sales, in a person-to-person sales environment, that was the one thing that I had to really work on getting better at, was literally having a conversation with the camera. And I always felt like I did well in sales because I had good communication skills with my clients or my prospects. But I would also feed off of their facial expressions, their movement, their body language, their expressions, things they would say to me. And of course, if they ask questions, that always helped keep the conversation going even more and more, because they ask you a question, you're like, oh, I can answer that, no problem. But then when you're talking to a camera, there's no feedback. There's no facial expressions. There's nothing happening. It's probably how every female feels talking to their spouse, right? their husband. Every female feels that way speaking to their husband or boyfriend, right? They just feel like they're talking to a camera sometimes, maybe. So really, for the females out there, this should be not a problem at all whatsoever. Just pretend the camera is your significant other who's just not paying attention in the first place. So So for me, that was something to just kind of got to get used to, because you have to learn how to either have a break point where you can stop and, there can be an edit, or you have to continue the conversation so that there's a natural flow to it. And the viewer feels like they're in conversation with you, and like they're walking, next to you if you're out in the neighborhood, or if they're in the office, like they're sitting across the table from you right now as well. And so even this is something that I talk about even on Zoom calls or trainings or things like this, whenever people are talking about this. I mean, right now, like I'm looking directly at the camera versus on my screen. Now, if I wanted to look at Steve and Chrissy and everyone else, I would be down like this, and I would be talking at you, but I'm not talking to you. So I actually have to look up and look at the camera if I want to talk to you versus talking at you. And so if you're on these types of calls or even like live trainings, this is the other piece of it, is that, I mean, how many times have you been on a Zoom or a training or something like that, and you're just constantly looking at the person's, the side of their head, because they're looking at everybody on their screen, but their camera's right here, or they're looking down like this. And so, I just think there's always better engagement, especially if you're on live trainings, to go that way. But when you have that camera, when you're out and about, you just have to look dead in that lens. And so when you're in the office, going back to where we started, which is placing your camera, have it placed where it's natural, in a natural position with you, which is going to be at eye level or just slightly above eye level. If it's slightly above eye level, then you have just a little bit to where you'll tilt your head up just a bit. And that any head tilt up is also going to help with voice projection, because if you crunch, then you're going to crunch your voice. And so if your camera is a little bit down, or even if you're recording on a Zoom, if you notice, you'll notice when I do screen share videos, I try to always just look up as well and look back at the camera. So I'm not just staring at the map the whole time. I'm trying to make eye contact with people too, but I don't want to be in this position where I'm crunched down the entire time as well, because it deepens my voice. You can probably even hear there's a change whenever I'm just talking regularly, as far as whenever I look up directly. I mean, it feels better to me. It doesn't feel like I'm crunching my neck. So there or slightly above, and that'll give you a better projection, and just comes off better. It helps keep the viewers engaged. So food for thought.
No, I agree with you on that. Yeah, because this was all set up for Zoom originally, so yeah. Now I got to change things around.
All right. Well, all right. So no questions so far, Steve. You good to go? Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna kick you back there, and no offense, just gonna put you back in the waiting room. Be good to go. I see our good friend Carlos. How you doing, Carlos? I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna come back to you here in just a second. Let me get to some of these chats real quick. Pop these up. Kim says, looking like you're feeling better today, Chrissy. Boy, I tell you what, everybody knows what's going on with us all the time, right?
That's right.
So how's your, are you over COVID yet for the third time?
Yes, I think so. It was more of a one-day thing for me. I was super sick for one day, lost my voice kind of for one day, and I'm pretty much back. I've been drinking my peppermint tea today, so I'm doing lots better.
Is that a Grogu on your coffee?
Heck yes, it is.
It's a Grogu.
Totally. It's the best mug I've got.
Let me see. Yep. We have a Grogu fan in the office today. So as soon as I said that, I was like, all right. So let's see here. Living in Frisco, Texas. Oh, good to see you again, Chrissy and Levi. Good to see you as well. And let's see. Oh, you already answered Kim's question. You're fast. I know you're.
I'm in there, taking care of business.
Yep. All right, Annapolis, living in Annapolis. Oh, sorry to hear you're under the weather. All right, well, everyone's.
I feel very loved. Thank you.
Looking out for you today. That's good. Let me see. All right, Kim, can't even get TubeBuddy to connect. I've Google searched it. I'm going to submit a ticket because their bot was zero help. All right. Well, let's go this real quick. And Carlos, I'm going to come to you next here. Let me run through this. Real quick. I'm going to do a quick screen share. and I'm going to go boom like this. Let me do a screen share. Let's get into this. Let's give this a try. And I'm going to go this route and ask Chrissy, do you see TubeBuddy?
Yep.
You see TubeBuddy? All right. So if I click on, let's see, my account. All right. So if we have these different accounts in here, first of all, right here, add channel. If you add channel, it should allow you to select the channel on there. I mean, as far as I know, that's all I've ever done. It immediately connects. If I just add the channel, you can see there it pops up my Google. So it pops up any of the channels that I'm linked to. And I clicked add. And then whenever I go into my channel, I simply have TubeBuddy linked right up here. I can go into SEO Studio, Keyword Explorer, everything else that I need to access on there, it's linked up in there. So that would be the first thing is I would say, let me remove that, is say, Kim, first of all, you got to have the channel started. That's the key thing. Got to have the channel started. Not saying you don't, just make sure you have the channel started. Make sure you always do the brand account as well. And then also just when you log into TubeBuddy, and if you don't have any other channels, which I don't believe you would, it should just be that green button up there that says add channel. It should be that. It should be pretty simple, I think. I hope so.
Well, and I've had a couple people who have asked me that question too, where they've created the brand account and then for some reason it won't connect on the YouTube side. And what I've usually told people, because if you just give it a day or two, sometimes it just takes a minute for it to actually register it's a new brand account. And for some reason, there's a little bit of a delay on it. So if it doesn't work same day, and especially I've found that this happens, especially when people have just converted an account, like an old account to a brand account, or they've created a brand new brand account and like same day are trying to connect it. I've seen that error every once in a while. I will say the ticket service with TubeBuddy has been very helpful for a couple of people. So if worst case scenario, that really doesn't work, tomorrow happens and it still won't connect, they usually can help you with the connection process. But yeah, it's usually just a delay of a day or two to be able to get it connected in those cases.
Yep. All right, good. Let's see, my man Carlos, you ready? You ready to rock and roll? You got it. All right. Let's see. Let's bring up Carlos. What's up, my man?
Hey, Coach. How you doing, Coach?
Yeah. Hey. What's up? How you doing today?
Good. Just good. Just wanted to hop into class and see what I could pick up from you. But perhaps I could ask you this one question. What are you doing with all the so when you do a video, then you submit it for editing. So then now you have the original video plus the edited video. Of course, you post the edited one. But what do you do with all that data? Because it's taking up a lot of my space on my phone. Just wondering if you're saving them or deleting them.
Oh, well, I mean, I delete everything on my phone. So once it's one, I double, triple backup. So for me, I have Dropbox and I have Google Drive. I have paid Google Drive. So I've got a couple of terabytes on Google Drive and I have, a couple of terabytes on Dropbox. I've had Dropbox forever. So I've just got so much on there. My phone, whenever I get home, or when I'm on Wi-Fi, I can select the Dropbox app and it'll automatically upload everything to Dropbox. So I just do that first, kind of like a backup. And then whenever, once it uploads from Wi-Fi, then I'll either just AirDrop the videos to my computer, or I'll go into Dropbox and just drag and drop them into Google Drive. And once I do that, now I've got a copy on Dropbox, I have a copy on Google Drive. And then the editing team has access to my Google Drive, and that's where they'll pull the videos, and then they have the final version. I don't have them give me back the final version because it's on YouTube, and you could either have them put the final version back in that folder for you, or you could just download it from YouTube if you wanted the final version. But otherwise, I keep so I have a copy on Dropbox and on Google Drive. But I think I would always want to keep a backup, because I know people say this, but you never know. I mean, as popular as YouTube is, what happens if it goes away tomorrow? If it's shut down overnight, I mean, the number one thing you can always have is a backup of your videos. Now, of course, our editing team has a backup of all the videos finalized, but it would never hurt to have your own copies just in case, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do. And Google Drive, I think for a couple of terabytes is like $9 a month, $9 or $9. You know, to me, it's just it's the cost of business right now, and so that's where I just have everything.
Yeah. Got it. My last question would be, how far? I noticed you go off Dallas, the Living in Dallas channel. You go to Frisco, and I'm not familiar with the area, but I know you go. I see the map goes north, south, east, west. How far is your radius when you're doing that? Just trying to determine how far I should go on my end over here.
Yeah, as far as you want to work. So
I've got it.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go as far as you want to work, or if you have a team in place, or you have a referral partner, or if you have somebody that can handle if you don't want to drive, you know, that distance, and you have somebody that can handle it. Actually, we were just out, I was talking with somebody yesterday. Actually, I don't think Denny would mind if I used Denny as an example. But Denny's in Atlanta, and what was funny is because I was talking, I was like, well, I asked him, I said, because he was asking me, hey, what are some things I can do to kind of change up? And, you know, I'm looking for some additional traction on. And I said, well, and I knew right away because I had seen his videos, his most popular videos on Augusta, Georgia. And I was like, well, are you going to go back and make videos on Augusta, Georgia? And the first thing he said was, well, I did that because I went to go take a friend's listing or a family member's listing. He said Augusta's 2 hours from Atlanta, so not a market that he works, first of all. But he goes, if I was going to go down there, drive 2 hours and take a listing for a family member, he goes, I just figured I'd shoot 4 videos. And that's what he did. He shot 4 videos while he was down there. Now, here's the problem. If you do that, which is what happened to Denny, is they became some of his most popular videos. And he's like, oh, what the hell, you know? And he did have somebody in place. He had a referral partner, but then they fell through a few months later. And so now he is generating, he's working on getting another person in place to handle that, because he doesn't necessarily want to drive 2 hours every other day or every weekend to go down there to handle that business. And so be mindful of that, because then his point was, if he had somebody solid in place there, he would go back and make another 10 videos, which is what we talk about as well, which is if you see any of your videos start to take off.
Sorry, my daughter's sick and she's singing in the background. Sorry.
I was like, what?
Sorry. Today's one of the days she didn't go to school, man. She's sick, and so she's sneezing in the background. Sorry about that.
Is she laying on a little mat by your desk?
Yeah, she's right here. Yeah. Sorry.
I was looking at Chrissy. I was like, I know Chrissy always has like some sort of zoo going on through her office video. And so I was like, all right, where's the monkey?
Blame it on me.
Yeah. That's where all the weird noises usually come from. With Chrissy's office.
Sorry about that.
But then I thought, I don't know. I was like, is that somebody here? All right. Well, we hope your daughter gets better.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for being available. Thank you. It's a great coaching calls. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean, that's just it. I mean, initially stay as close to home as possible. And if you do venture out, just be mindful. If it's further than you want to go, then just be mindful of what could happen. You know, if you start generating business there, you either need to have a solid team member or a solid referral partner or somebody that can handle that business. And so otherwise, because you don't want to let it go. You know, you don't want to just pass on it. So
got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else? Are you good to go?
No, I'm just trying to structure it. I'm trying to put it together because sometimes I travel and I'm trying to do videos. Well, you know, how close is the LAX from Pasadena, my example? And then like I went to Canada for a trip for my daughter's birthday. So then I kind of did a bunch of videos about that. But then I go back into the course. I'm still like working on the course. I heard you say that you only do videos. Forget the wording you use, but only what people are searching, not what you want to do. You don't do videos of what you desire to do videos on, but more on what is being searched for. And so I wasn't sure if my videos were being searched for at the time. So I have a bunch of stuff like that. So I'm kind of restructuring right now. I hope I made sense. That's big.
Yeah.
Facts.
So hopefully, I believe I tried to be clear as far as the fact that what I like to say is that we optimize for the algorithm in the beginning, and then we optimize for the audience as we progress. Because in the beginning, you don't have an audience, so it's like, how do you really know? If you just make videos that you think you want to make, then that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to find them, watch them, or be interested in them. But if you look at what's being searched, and you create your initial content around what's being searched, then to me, that gives you a much better opportunity to be found sooner rather than later. Now, once you get 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months into it, guess what? You're closing deals, you're working with clients, you're answering comments, you're seeing the feedback, you're having conversations, you get to know your audience. And so as you get to know your audience, you're going to find out, you're going to start being a lot more creative versus just kind of like, okay, here's something this suburb's being searched, this neighborhood's being searched. Okay, I'll just make videos on that. Then you start going, okay, these things make sense. These are the questions I'm getting. These are what comes up over and over again. So all of that, I think, plays into creating content for the audience, or optimizing, what I like to say, optimizing for the audience. Optimize for the algorithm in the beginning, because you don't have the audience, but as you develop and grow and get to know your audience, then you optimize for your audience, because then you can just be like, okay, you'll get a sense. I believe that you'll get a sense and be like, okay, I think this should be a good video, So, and then, what the funny thing is none of this is really an exact science.
Yeah, I get that. No, I understand. But you get the experience. So
I post things, we post things, they'll do well. And then we're like, all right, let's do it again. And then you do it again, and you're like, okay, what happened there? And then you post something that hasn't done well before, but you're kind of in a cycle or a rotation, or you're like, you know what, I need to do something there. And then all of a sudden it does well. And there's just, there's a lot. I mean, I would say it's like 90% science, 10%, 10% luck. And then also, I mean, the other thing is that if YouTube picks that stuff up, if YouTube starts promoting your videos, and they do really to a certain extent, but when they really pick it up, and then that you just can't really control that. And sometimes it can be right in line to things that we've done 10 other times on videos. And so it makes it very difficult sometimes to pinpoint the exact thing of why was this video picked up over the others. But for us, I know that we just stay the course. We stay steady Eddie. Most of our videos, they all follow and flow in the same format. They get a lot of the similar views. We stay pretty consistent on lead flow. And then that's, again, lead flow is the number one goal. That's all we care about. But, like in July, we had a video just absolutely blow up. And it was our fastest growing video in an amount of time. And that was a year and a half into the channel, Now we know we did something completely different on there, but, but we've tried to duplicate that with not the same amount of success as that one. They're still successful, but didn't catch on as far. Now, could they later, or could the next one? Sure. But it's one of those things, but just stay consistent really is one of the biggest keys. And then you'll get to know your audience, and then you'll make more content that's not just analytical black and white,
Yeah. Got it. Can I ask you a final question? I don't know if you have somebody else lined up. You want to give them a chance? I could ask you next week or 2 weeks.
No. You take all the time. Go ahead.
Oh, great. Last question. So I don't take much more time either. So if I were to hire that internal company you use for editing and optimizing and all that jazz, so they'll upload the video for me, and they'll do all the title and comments and keywords and all that and optimization. Is that what they do? They have access to my channel? Is that how that works?
Chrissy, want to jump in?
Yep, we do everything for you. So we'll do the thumbnail, we'll design the channel for you, we'll optimize all of your descriptions, the whole bit. And so pretty much the only thing that we don't do is just the after it's been published, you need to pin comments or respond to comments and things like that. But as far as publishing the video itself, yeah, we take it from the raw files all the way to a published video on YouTube.
Okay, got it. So if I give you like a 15-minute video that it's intended to be 7-minute. You edit out this empty space and the ums and buts and whatever.
Yep, totally.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. Got it. Thank you very much. This is an amazing coaching call. I don't know why more people should be, more of your clients should be taking advantage. This is a coaching call, Been in coaching in real estate for 18 years. It's like, one call can make a great difference, so.
Well, thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that. Remind me of the market again. Are you in LA?
I'm in Los Angeles, just north of downtown Los Angeles. It's called Pasadena, where the Rose Bowl is. So, yeah. But it's I'm trying to capture the market, because I live here, but I've worked in a different market most of my career for 18 years, and it's usually by USC or east of USC. It's an entirely different market, but I'm trying to capture this market, and I'm trying this approach too. So I'm working on this.
Okay. Do you speak another language?
Spanish.
Okay.
My Spanish is better than my English.
Well, I would recommend, do everything in English, but just in your intro or even on your channel banner, make sure you put, I think people that speak Spanish will know regardless, but doesn't hurt to say, my name is Carlos, se habla español. And, if you're thinking about making a move to the North LA area or Pasadena or whatever it is, maybe, then feel free to give me a call. And then also on your banner, I would just put something like, habla español, just something subtle like that, because then you'll be able to attract both markets,
Yeah, so that's a great point. So what I did, as I started with you or with your course a couple weeks back, I actually created a Spanish channel. So I'm trying to do the same video in Spanish. But then the names, searching the keyword and the name of the channel, it wouldn't match the same one in English. So I named it entirely different. But it's a lot of work, man, to do both videos in Spanish and English, and then the editing.
Oh, see, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I tell you what, I didn't realize you started the Spanish channel, which is why I was going to say, if you do the English channel and you do the Spanish, se habla español, the Spanish people will probably still find it and come across it, right? And so, and I think it's a way to, because it is, despite what people think, 2 channels is twice the amount of work, especially if you've got to record it in 2 different languages. But yeah, man, that's a lot. So I don't know. Think about that. I would still include that on your English channel and start to see if it starts to dominate. And if you start getting Spanish clients from your English channel, you may consider shutting that off. But nothing wrong with 2 separate channels that you really are going at 2 different. But the only true way to know that, though, is if you have 2 separate phone numbers, 2 separate emails, because otherwise, if they're going to the same phone number, the same email, it's going to be hard to pinpoint which channel they're coming from.
Where it came from. Yeah, it's interesting. So look, so of course I don't have a lot of following, right? And I'm not posting enough or anything. And so I noticed that Spanish speaking people are looking into the English one. And so then I'm thinking that the Spanish one might get cut up to the English one, although I don't post enough yet. But it's interesting. But no, I do a good job at sourcing my business, 100%. So so I get what you're saying, though. It's great advice, but I do source everything because I want to see where it's coming from for sure.
Okay.
So well,
in the end, you do you, and definitely keep us up to speed on what's going on. So I'm curious to see how that works out.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
Yep.
There's this awesome creator that I follow on Instagram. I'm trying to remember her name right off the top of my head. It's Jenny something. And she does her whole thing. And it's a little bit different than, obviously we're doing more informational. But her whole thing is like funny things that Latina girls have to deal with, or Latino families, talk about in their family. And she does a very good mix of, because a lot of people who watch it, they don't understand the Latin culture, right? They don't understand some of those same traditions. And so it's a lot of us white kids coming to watch to see, what it is that makes them tick. And so she does a lot of videos where she will say certain things in Spanish, and then she'll have the subtitles for it in English, and then she'll go back to speaking in English so that her main target audience can actually consume and understand what she's saying. And so she kind of mixes it where she does a little bit of content in Spanish, a little bit of content in English, and she mixes it, and it really makes it very engaging. Because I mean, it makes it also, just from an eye perspective and an engagement perspective, it makes your eyes move down to the subtitles and come back up and look at the person who's talking. So I think that would be an interesting way to try it too, and maybe test out a couple of different formats with your videos and see what kind of clicks.
Perfect. That's amazing. That's a great advice. Thank you. I'll definitely look at it. But it sounds like she's very talented.
It's hysterical. I love her videos. I love her videos. She's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Do you happen to remember? You said Jenny. It's her name, right? Jenny. She's is she a realtor? Or she's just
I'll
like
put her name in the comments. I can't remember just off the top of my head what her last name is.
But it's not real estate related, right? It's just like somebody you follow.
Yeah. She's got a huge following now. She does a bunch of she does voiceovers for a lot of cartoons.
Oh, wow.
And so I think she might have been in Family Guy or something like that at some point. But anyway, she does lots of voiceovers, but she has her own kind of drama where she dresses up as all the different members of her family. So she's got abuela, she's got her mom, she's got herself, she's got her younger cousin, and she plays all the characters, and it's hysterical. So I'll have to put it in the comments. But
she's
excellent.
You're gonna be leading this class in Spanish pretty soon, you know, Chrissy.
What's that?
You're gonna be leading this class in Spanish pretty soon yourself.
I wish I could speak Spanish.
So perhaps here's a good question. So can I send you, if I was gonna do the editing part, would you be able to do it in Spanish? You have somebody that does speak Spanish on your team for editing purposes?
You know, I don't have somebody who speaks Spanish right now, but if you were to say a phrase or something like that, we could probably, figure out what you were saying. So,
okay.
I think we could make it work.
What about Gabby?
Oh, duh. What am I talking about? Gabby's our video manager, and she speaks Spanish. She is from Mexico. So,
okay. All right, good.
I'm thinking, of course, she could help. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, got it. Let me budget for that, and then perhaps I could do one, both the Spanish and English video.
I think that would be great. I think test both formats and see what really sticks with people. But I think that could be really engaging.
Yeah. All right, cool. I got to work on it. Thank you, Chrissy.
Awesome.
Thank you, Levi. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Carlos.
It's the COVID brain.
Yeah, there you go. COVID brain. Yep.
Gabby's probably on this call too. She likes to hop in and listen. And so I'm sure she's sitting there laughing at me. I'm sure I'll get some comments in our messages.
All right, let's go back to some chat. Let's see. So Jenny says, what app do you use to add music to videos and edit videos?
Well, for our long form content, we don't use an app per se. We have a couple different media depositories that we pull from that we get commercially licensed video or music and stock video and all of that stuff. It's a paid service. But yeah, it gives you a commercial license to it. So if it ever pulls anything on YouTube, we can put that license in there and still monetize the channel. So if you're going to use anything like that, YouTube Music Studio actually does have some commercial music that you can use that doesn't have any, rights to it. So you can throw that on there. But I would be very careful where you source your music from, because if it doesn't actually explicitly offer you a commercial license with like a code involved with that, you could get flagged. Even if it says it's like commercially licensed on YouTube and it's fine to download, royalty free, blah, blah, blah. Don't believe that. You definitely need to go with something that is a commercial music service when you put it on your videos.
Yep, there you go. See, Kim says, I've ordered my equipment, waiting for it to arrive. I'll focus on planning my videos in the meantime. Sounds like a good plan.
Yep.
All right, this is Jenny from the block. Jenny says, yeah, we know, we got you. We see you, Jenny. We got you. Let's see. Kim, I was in the live with her yesterday.
Yep, she was. I know everybody had to sit there and suffer with me yesterday when I was feeling rotten. So
which live?
I think it was either, we had a couple of calls yesterday. I think it was the course call that she hopped on with me.
Oh,
course support.
Got it. Okay, I have it started and it's brand. I'll try these. Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Going back to living in Annapolis. How do we tell if our YouTube is brand connected? Looks the same to me. So we have a video on that in the course. So check on the brand account video and we walk you through that. So let us know if that helps out. And okay, all right, Kim. Let's see. 905 real estate. Hello, everyone. And the 905. That sounds like a California area code, I presume. Let's see. 905 area code. No, Toronto.
Florida? Oh, it's Toronto.
Toronto, Southern Ontario. Okay, interesting. I don't know. Usually the 9s you find them in California, but let's see. What's up, Seth? Right? Is that Seth? Should we post shorts on our page too that has general info in it rather than just geographic vids? Shorts on our page that has general info in it. Well, I'll just tell you, I mean, actually I know you have access to the course. So just go into the shorts channel and that module, I walk you through my thoughts on that process. So right now I know that YouTube's coming out with some new things on shorts. Right now I'm not a big advocate for posting them on the same channel, but with some of the new changes they're coming out with, then it might be advantageous. Could be, as soon as they come out with that. We talked about that, Chrissy. Have you seen those changes take effect yet, or did they?
They're still fairly new. I mean, a lot of people are starting to do the shorts in that new format, but
is it beta? But it's supposed to be separate though on the channel, right?
Yeah, I mean, you still have a shorts channel on the channel, but basically what it does is you can cut something out of the long form content and it sends, it'll send you back to the original video that it was cut from. But we have a separate channel. And so we have a different strategy with that. So we don't really do that. But yeah, I mean, that is a brand new feature that they just released like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago or so.
But I still don't see it on my channel where they've separated shorts as one of the tabs.
Oh, well, I'd have to look at it again. I think it's just the newer shorts that they're doing that with. They probably didn't go back and archive it. Like I said, there's
on the channel. It says, how it says like the top. It says I just closed out of it. Yeah, home. It says like home, videos, playlist, community, channels, about. I thought they were including.
Yeah, they do have a tab for shorts. I saw it on one of the channels. I didn't see it on both of the channels. So I don't know if it's in beta and they're releasing it. That's typically what they do with these types of releases. They'll release it slowly. And so some accounts don't get it. That's how it is, especially with like Instagram, like with Reels, there were some people who didn't have access to Reels for 3 months after it was released. And so it's probably just getting released slower. I've seen it on some of the channels that we've managed. I haven't seen it on all of them yet. But yeah, there is supposed to be like a separate tab that makes it very simple for you to see what shorts are on the channel and easy for you to navigate to the shorts section.
Okay. So let me see. Let me go back to the question. Should we post shorts on our page? I would say go back into the course module there. We really talk about it a little bit more in depth. And then also, yeah, if you need to give me a call, we can do that too. Talk through that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I have a team member who speaks Spanish. I need to figure out how to get that out there. Well, that'd be easy. Post it on your banner.
Mm-hmm.
Habla español. That would be simple. Let me see. Green screen or no green screen doesn't matter. Depends on your background. If you're shooting in front of your broom closet, probably a good idea to throw up the green screen.
I tend to lean away from the green screen, though. I mean, I think it's just more authentic to be out walking around. It's more interesting, just from the analytics perspective. People tend to stick around longer when they see that you're in an interesting environment. So I tend to be like, go out, walk in a park, do your pros and cons by a fountain versus doing it by a fake fountain in another country. So,
well, but he could be making office videos too.
That's true. I mean, and I think in a pinch, it's fine. I just think with the green screen, people tend to lean on that a little bit, and it makes it a little bit difficult to make sure that there's enough of a change in the background and everything to keep the eye engaged. And so I think if you're strategic with it, and one, you have a really high quality background, nothing blurry or tacky, then I think that that's fine. But generally speaking, I think you have to be really careful with green screens, because there's a fine line between tacky and professional with those, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go back to, I wonder if I pull a question up there. Oh, there we go. Let's see. What about for Instagram? Oh, she's talking about audio again, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Instagram, you would want to use the trending sounds for your reels on that. So you'd go in there. Now, I will say there are some people who have asked me on Instagram, how can they get into, the viral music? Because sometimes when you are logged in, you only see some of the really basic stock music in there. And if that's the case, you need to change your category, because you can get access to the viral stuff that you can get from an artist or something like that. You can also see how many views it's had. And so typically I tend to say somewhere between 10 and 50,000 reels is where you want to kind of stick, because then it's not too crowded, but it has enough traction to actually get you some views. And so stick with something between 10 and 50,000 reels.
There you go. And you get a thumbs up for that.
Nice.
There you go. Let me see. Danny, what's up, Danny? Dang, just tried to convert to a brand channel and it says my custom link won't work anymore. Still worth doing, or start fresh with a brand new channel? I'm almost at 1,000 haphazardly posting. 1,000 what? Views? 1,000 subs? 1,000? Yeah, it depends on your video count. I don't know. We'd have to look at the back end. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to say based on that comment what you have. Are you positive it's not a brand account? I don't know. It's hard for me to say based on that. I'm not a big advocate for starting over. I know that it's once you started, got off the ground. And again, I don't know if you mean 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers. If you're 1,000 subs, absolutely not. But 1,000 views, I don't know. We'll have to one off that sometime. Hey, Susan. Susan in Burlington, Ontario. There you go.
She's told me a million times that that's who she is, 905 Real Estate, and I always forget.
COVID brain.
That's right. That's right. I'll keep blaming it on that.
Let me see. All right. Let's see. Let's see. My 905 guys insist on using a teleprompter to do their vlogs, map videos, etc. It does look better than just the selfies as it's recorded in the app, but still not as good as the camera. Okay. I'm not sure about that second part. I mean, teleprompters, this is a good subject to talk about, right? Teleprompters. I think that really comes down to personal preference. Now, we don't use teleprompters. For me, I know my areas of Dallas, and even if I'm going to an area I'm not as familiar with, I will read a blog post or two on that area, or Wikipedia or niche.com or something, just to get a good general sense. And I'm pretty good at regurgitating facts. So, population, median home value, renters versus owners, those types of things I can kind of hyper memorize, you could say, real quickly. But otherwise, I've got a pretty good sense of my areas. So I don't really feel like I need I've never used the teleprompter for the videos, because ultimately you're sharing your stories and your experiences and the things that you would share with a friend. If you had a friend come into town and said, hey, I want to go buy in this area, can you show me around? You'd probably say, yeah, hop in the car, let's go. I'll tell you all about it. And you would talk for days probably and never even think twice about having a teleprompter. So I think there's going back to the beginning of this conversation we had, which for me, getting used to speaking to a dead object, one that doesn't give you any feedback, and no emotion, no facial expressions, just a camera and the lens. That maybe getting comfortable having that conversation with the camera, and because people are uncomfortable, maybe that's why they feel like they need a teleprompter, which the teleprompter could just is really just a safety mechanism, right? It's a safety blanket. And I feel like videos are always better unscripted and off the fly. And if you mess up, I mean, think about when if you're talking with a friend, we do this we do it on these lives. We do it on training calls all the time. I get tongue twisted and tongue tied and blah, 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 I mean, look at Ron Burgundy, how he has to warm up before he gets on the camera, right? He has to go through the process, but the thing is we mess up and so that's okay. If you stumble over a word or something like that, just get past it. I mean, we do it all the time. And I think it's just makes for more engaging content if you don't have to use the teleprompter. And using it outside, I'm not even sure how you do a vlog with that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and I think ultimately it's like whatever you need to just at least get in front of the camera. I think if you need to use a teleprompter to kind of feel comfortable, do it. It's not going to kill anything. It will get to a point. And this is what I found. This is my experience. My experience is that the people who start with teleprompters get sick of it after 3 or 4 videos because it's a pain in the butt. So it's like walking around with it. It's like not fun to have to even if you have because a lot of people, they have like the app on the phone, they'll walk around with it and everything. And I find that people kind of get tired of it. And when you hit that point, that you're comfortable in front of the camera. So I think, give it 3 or 4 videos. And if you start to feel like you can get away from it, I think the goal would be to get away from the teleprompter at some point.
Yeah, that scares me even more than getting on camera, is having to write out what I'm going to say on a video that's going to be scripted on I don't mind. We have, we recorded an ad, not for the channel, but for something else. And we used a teleprompter because it was 5 minutes worth of content, but somebody else wrote it for us. So
and you guys were in the office too, so I think that's also a different situation. Is you guys are sitting in the office, and it was for the purpose of an ad, so the purpose of the content was different too. So
yeah, but hey, to each their own. We always say just do what you want to do. You do you, and like Giselle says, you do you, boo. Boo, yeah. You do you, boo boo. You do you, boo boo. You say that 10 times fast. So let me see. All right, Kim says, thank you. And it's not the info. They know the area and their communication skills in front of the camera. You are also 2.5% of the population with that high a level of communication skills. Okay. They know the area. It's their communication skills in front of the camera. Okay. All right. Well, hey, if you want to use it, go for it.
I think it's just a practice makes perfect kind of thing, and really more practice makes progress. And eventually I think you're going to find that it's not fun to use. And so you'll probably get rid of it. And, as you get more comfortable in front of the camera, you'll probably want to just wing it. I mean, Levi, I'm sure you can attest, those first videos took forever, and now you can whip out 2 or 3 in a day and it's no big deal. So
yep. Oh yeah, just like the vlogs used to take me 4 hours of vlog, and now I can do 4 vlogs in 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting it around. Yep. So let me see. All right, they're getting better. Cool. All right. Yes. Let's see. I have another agent who can't even do it with the teleprompter. Hey, there you go. I mean, reading moving words is a skill in itself.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of concentration. That's why I say I think eventually they'll be like, well, it's actually way easier just to wing this, so let's do it, So that'll be a good threshold to cross at some point.
It does give you appreciation for news anchors who do read the teleprompter.
Yeah, they fly off the cuff and they're able to just be witty on. Yeah, totally.
Live on the air, yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we're getting lots of props today. Let's see. Chrissy has them all in our folder. Okay. They've stand because they can't walk and talk at the same. They even. All righty. Well, there you go. There you go. Let's see. All right, Kim. If we use you guys for editing, optimizing, that takes a lot off our plate. So what do we do to help our channel thrive after videos are posted? Well, I think you answer all the comments.
That's what I was going to say.
And you answer them in a way that you acknowledge and you ask a question in return. So when they say something, acknowledge what they say and then ask a question, because then you'll prompt a response. I think that definitely helps with engagement, keeps the comments flowing. You can ask people to comment during your video. By the way, comment. That's something I notice whenever I do that, it does spark more engagement. And I think that's something that we highly, highly recommend doing at the very beginning of the video. Like if you know you're talking about Plano, Texas, then it's a great way to say at the beginning, by the way, we're right here in Plano, Texas, and comment below. Have you ever visited Plano, or do you live in Plano now? Or have you thought about it? And if you have lived here, what do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Let us know. We want to hear from you. Or if you're not from Plano, what questions do you have? Sound off in the comments. So as we get back to the video, boom, 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 and so that's a great way. People respond to direct calls of action. So that's a great way to do that. You want to pin your comment after your video is published, or you want to pin your contact information. We talk about that after your video is published. And let's see what else. And then, go back and review some of the videos and just notice the things that went well, things you like, things you want to change, and always work on getting a little bit better every single video.
Yeah, and I always tell people, become obsessed with your analytics. That's your job. Because if we can take over the editing side, we're watching your analytics too. But you understanding your analytics and you understanding your trends, that's going to help you make better content. And so if you're obsessed with your analytics, you're obsessed with your audience is going to respond well to your content, and it will make your channel grow faster. If you're not paying attention, and this has happened, I've had many people that I've seen this happen. I've seen it go both ways. People who don't really engage, they don't really, review the videos. They don't really go in and they look at their channel very often. Those are the people that their content starts to suffer after 3 or 4 months. And so that's what is really your job after we get the video edited. Just be obsessed with those trends and analytics.
Yep.
Levi can tell you, he's into the channel like 20, 30 times a day. So it's always looking at something.
Always checking stuff. All right. Well, I think that wraps. This is actually perfect timing. That was the last question we had there. So let me see. Oh, I just saw Seth. Well, it doesn't say Seth's connected. Seth, I'll give you a second here. We're going to wrap up. I just saw you pop up in the back room. Steve, thanks for joining us on the call today. Carlos, thank you for joining us live on the call today. I love having people on here live. I think that makes it a lot more interesting and fun, right? And that's pretty cool. I don't see
Seth mentioned in the private chat that he had to take off.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Seth, just give me a call. I know you were reaching out a little bit earlier, so you've got my number. Give me a call and we can chat. And for the rest of you, well, hopefully enjoy this. By the way, visit passiveprospecting.com and get signed up so you'll be the first to know when we release the Passive Prospecting book. Super excited about that. We are a couple of months out is from what we believe, just working on some cool things here and there. And so, but we want to keep everyone up to date. Thank you for your support. And until next time, well, we'll see you on YouTube, right? Somewhere.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, Susan.